Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Nancy Joseph, aka The Dynamic Doc. Welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year, everyone. And I'm hoping everyone's new year has gotten off to a great start, and I wish everyone a healthy, happy, and prosperous new year. So, and the last video, go ahead and check that out if you haven't had a chance to do so. I'll link it down below, and we'll pick up where we left off in the last video. So, currently, picking up where we left off the last video, like I said, I am currently overseas in Haiti, finished the Summer Scholars Program, interviewed, and now overseas. Waiting, kind of attending my brother's wedding, also, just having family time, but of course also from an academic side, awaiting the decision from Ohio University College of Osteopathic Medicine. So, I realized that, oh my gosh, my phone doesn't work there, and therefore I have to check my voicemail because they probably have been trying to reach me. So while I'm in Haiti, I'm like, oof, I better check my phone. So I go to a cyber cafe. I, of course, check my voicemail, and sure enough, they had been trying to reach me, to talk about the decision from my interview. So, on a previous video, I talked about the different options that were available that they could offer me. So, go ahead and check that out. Like I said, I'll link it down below. But here are the two options I was given. So, option one was a wait list. So I can be placed on a wait list. The problem is, of course, or like with the caveat that I was not, they could not tell me where I was on the wait list. So of course, as any, as one would presume when you're on the wait list. So if someone were to decide to not come, someone that was offered admission was decide to not come to OU, of course, then I would move up on the wait list. The problem is, and the dilemma is, if I was first on the wait list, then I'd be the next person up. So, of course, if someone decided to go otherwise, to go to another medical school, I'd be in. But if I was in the bottom, I'd move up. But that still doesn't put me in a spot in a medical school class. So, that's one thing. But getting on the wait list means nothing changes. You're on the wait list. I had applied to other medical schools as, even before going to the Summer Scholars Program, one of the requirements to apply was to apply to that medical school. But because I had been approved for a fee waiver program, I was able to apply to a number of medical schools for free. So I went ahead and applied to the others as well. So, I could, nothing changes if you put on the wait list. You just kind of wait out the other schools, while, waiting on the decision with OU if something were to change. So the other option was post-bac. So I went into detail about the post-baccalaureate program kind of in a different light in a previous video, but essentially post-baccalaureate program is where you pass in a program, get financial aid, you get a completion certificate at the end, and so the requirement for that program is you get a 3.0, you automatically get into the medical school. So the program consisted of science courses, of course, challenging science courses, and was a year long. So the only challenge, of course, with the post-baccalaureate program is that if you were an individual that really wanted to go to a certain medical school, of course, having applied to the medical schools, the next step would be secondary applications and interviews. And so with the post-baccalaureate program being, it's a challenging program, it's a year long, you would have to then, of course, orchestrate the time to go on those interviews. Of course, I think there was also another stipulation if you were to take that post-baccalaureate program and decide to go to another medical school instead. So those are kind of a couple of like caution points, depending on which kind of, which side of the fence you were on, or which individual, which kind of situation that you're in. So that was one thing. But like I said, with the waitlist option, you could you're just waitlisted, so you can go and interview other places. But with the post-baccalaureate, that's what you're doing. You're putting your best foot forward in that program, making sure you get the score that you need to get into that next medical school class. Of course, if you were to get a 3.0 in that program and start in that, you'd be starting with the next medical school class, at the same time as if you were to get directly into, directly admitted into that medical school. The caveat is, though, this is July that we're having this conversation, and the post-baccalaureate program starts in September, beginning of September. So, and at this point, it's late July. So then I would only have, in my trip to Haiti was a 2-week trip, and at this point I was in the beginning of that 2-week trip, at the 2-week time period. So that would mean that I would have a month I was living in Brooklyn, New York at the time. I would have a month to orchestrate what I needed to move from Brooklyn to Ohio. And keep in mind, I do not have any friends or family in Ohio. So that's an important caveat there that we'll dive more into later. So, spoke to a couple of people, asked for guidance and advice, and ultimately decided to take the post-baccalaureate program. Because when you doing the post-baccalaureate program, I'd be the master of my own destiny, so to speak. Getting a 3.0, I felt confident that I could do that because I had been doing that all through high school, all through my academic career, all through college. Because in fact, that was, I had to get, above a 3.0 in order to be in a, good place, for medical school. So for me, I felt confident that I can get a 3.0. And so I was like, okay, then it would be dependent on me. Whereas the waitlist would be kind of like, I hope, I'm high enough on the list to get in. The post-baccalaureate program would be like, it's all up to me. And so if I apply myself and I put my best foot forward and I get a 3.0 or above, then I get in. So the ball would be back in my court and things would be back in my hands. And so ultimately, that's the decision that I made. So now I am in Haiti on vacation, but enjoying my time with family, but I now have to think about how am I going to get to Ohio? Because mind you, because I didn't have anybody in Ohio, any resources, I didn't have anyone that could, look at apartments or anything while I was in Haiti or while I was getting my stuff together. Additionally, I was not working at the time. I had just been looking at temp jobs, but I hadn't started yet. And so I did not have the financial means to fly to Ohio, get a hotel and look at apartments, for a couple of days to make a decision and figure that out. So that was just kind of, I didn't have that ability. So I was financially restricted in that sense. And so those were kind of like my dilemmas, because now, gosh, I have to move to Ohio in a pretty small time frame. And so navigating that was an interesting experience. So stay tuned. The next video for where I'll talk about how I navigated that transition and get myself in a position to start this program. So stay tuned for more of my journey, the Dynamic Doc Adventures, and don't forget to check out previous videos, and also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Be blessed. Peace.